Hi everyone, it is Wednesday, April 22nd of 2015, and this is episode 16 of the Serenova Crafts podcast. Hi to returning viewers, hi to new viewers, welcome to our living room floor. Kevin and I moved the couch this weekend because he bought a love sack, hence the giant bag there. That's the cover for the love sack. Now, for those of you who don't know what love sack is, they make giant beanbag chairs. And Kevin's wanted one for a really long time. So our couch, which was dead parallel to our sliding doors, is now at an angle. There's the kitty, Cokie. Come say hi. Come say hi, Cokie. There's the kitty. Come here. Come on, you want to come say hi? No. She's going to be a cat and not do what I want her to do. She's a cat. Which, by the way, I have news about her. But yeah, so we moved the couch last weekend. There she is. There's my Cokie. Wanna come sit in my lap? I know I'm in the way. The door's right there. So yeah, because we moved the couch, sorry about the cat interruption, I decided to sit on the floor because I didn't want to go back to our second bedroom, which is where I started recording. If you watch my very first few episodes, I started recording in there because that was where the desk was, that's where the computer is, but I was like, hey, I have a laptop. I can record anywhere in the apartment. So, excuse me. So I started recording in our living room because I had much better light because our sliding door, which is now about 2 feet in front of me because I'm like right up against it, was exactly parallel to our couch. But now we've moved the couch, so now I'm like, I'll try sitting on the floor. So there you see our coffee. Actually, speaking of coffee table, my seedlings are doing really well. Look, I have seedlings. These are going to be violets when they eventually sprout, and these are going to be forget-me-nots when they eventually sprout. They don't get a lot of sunshine in our apartment because the only place we get direct sun is through the slider for about 2 or 3 hours every afternoon, and it's still not quite warm enough to put them out, like on the balcony full time. So I kind of sometimes put them out for a little while to get more sun, bring them in, put them out. So like they're growing really slowly because they're not getting enough sun. I feel like I'm washed out, but I don't think it's that bad. But at least I'm lit fully from the front because if I was sitting on the couch, I'd be half lit, which was the issue I had in our second bedroom. And I didn't want to do that again because I thought I looked funky with like half my face in light and half my face in shadow. It just doesn't work. So, things have been busy. A few things from last week. I told you folks last week that I was going to attempt to get onto the Hello Yarn Fiber Club of the Month wait list. And I made it! I'm number 80, which means it might take a while to get to me, but I'm in, and I'm super happy about that. And I got number 80 in it, and I was only like 5 minutes after it opened, so like it went quickly. But so I got onto that wait list, so that's good. And Cokie went to the vet, and it turns out she's a little chubby, and she needs to be around 11 pounds, not around 13 pounds. So Cokie is now on a diet. It's not like a diet where like we're severely limiting her food, but cats her size only need about 400 calories a day, and we were free feeding where she could eat like just as much as she wants. So the vet was like, limit her to a half cup a day, period, and see if she loses weight. And then if she doesn't lose weight, switch to a weight loss or weight control formula. And then if that doesn't work, go to a prescription food. Now it's only been a week of half a cup a day, but I haven't noticed any difference yet, but it's a week. Like humans, if you lose weight that fast and you're a human, I'm worried for you. I'm sorry, because it's just not healthy. So for a cat to lose a noticeable amount of weight in a week, nah. Usually takes about 6 weeks. So, but I need to buy new food anyways because her bag's almost out, so I need more. She just needs more food. So I'm going to get not the weight loss formula of the brand I buy, but I'm going to get the weight control. That's designed for indoor cats because she is an indoor cat. She doesn't go outside. I'm thinking about letting her out on the balcony, but that's about as far as she'll get. So I'll probably do that when I go out later today. And the other thing is that she needs her teeth cleaned. So in July, I'm gonna have a very wobbly kitty because unlike with dogs where they don't have to knock them out to do a teeth cleaning, you have to knock out cats because cats will savage you if you try to clean their teeth, because they're cats. Though, I mean, dogs can get testy too. But dogs get testy in a different way than cats get testy. So, yeah. So in July, Koki's going for tooth cleaning. I also got some super good news, and this is not, so that's holdover from last week. I'm done. Some super good news that has nothing to do with knitting. My job got extended. Yay, I have another 3 months. So I'm super happy about that. But now I need to do like health insurance stuff because I couldn't get on my job agency's health insurance for 90 days after I started working. And so now I need to sign up by the end of the month. So that's on my to-do list for the rest of this week. So now for actual like knitting crochet stuff. Oh, by the way, oh my God, I didn't introduce myself. If you want to follow me, find my blog or anything, because I completely forgot to do that when I started this video, the credit's at the end. And if you don't want to listen to me, just fast forward to the end. Everything's there. Follow me, friend me. There goes the cat again. Probably going to see her walking by. She just had a nosh, and now she's probably going to go take a nap. And, oh God. It's far later than I thought it was going to be, because I had to go run errands before recording this morning. So, yeah. Though, like, starting recording, like, 45 minutes later than I normally do has done nothing for my lighting. Probably because we don't get sun in this room until the end of the day. But I want to record in the morning and get it up, like, in the afternoon. So, anyways. So, knitting. I've only worked on 3 projects this week. Yeah, 3, I know. And I have how many on the needles? I think I'm up to a dozen. So, I have made not much progress on my sock. So, last week it was, like, here, and this week it's now here. So as you can see, it has not gone terribly far. It was, if I can straighten it out, it was like here, and now it's like here, right? Yeah, I've not been working on this much, but I have made a lot of progress on my Benton. But I'm going to show you one other thing first. So my synagogue does charity knitting, and in the fall, I talked about this on my blog, but I didn't have the podcast then. This past fall 2014 fall, we knit hats for Israeli soldiers, and so we're doing it again. And so Sunday, like 3 days ago Sunday, we met at the synagogue, and a bunch of us started hats, and we taught a couple of people to knit, not the hats, because hats are slightly difficult if you've never knit a stitch before in your life. But so we're doing just black ribbed hats for the Israeli soldiers. And yes, I know American soldiers need stuff too. And our synagogue does do stuff for American soldiers, but we also do stuff for Israeli soldiers because our sister city is Haifa, if I remember properly. And we do have members of the congregation who are from Israel, members of the congregation who have immigrated to Israel, members of the congregation who go to Israel like 3 times a year. And though we do things for American soldiers, we also do things for Israeli soldiers. Just a disclaimer out there that we're not ignoring the U.S. troops. I'm not getting political here. I'm really trying not to get political here. Because if you want politics, I can talk politics. But this is not a political podcast, and so I'm not going to get into it. All I can say is my mom chose not to send me to a private school for a reason. And she vetoed a Jewish day school, and I'm Jewish, and a Catholic day school. She vetoed both of them and sent me to public school instead. So if that gives you any idea, I'm just going to leave it there. So, now, the Benton. When you saw it last week, I had a portion of a sleeve. Well, now I have one sleeve. And yes, these are very colorful. I have one sleeve. And you knit the sleeves first in this pattern. 2 sleeves! Yay! And I'm like halfway up the body. But it's a worsted weight sweater. Those go like super quickly. I mean, come on. If I can hold this up in a way that You're actually going to be able to see stuff. So here we go. Woohoo! And you can actually see the cables, which is good. This is coming out a lot lighter. It looks very green in real life, and it looks far less green to the camera. So there's cables here that go like this, and it's on both sides. So it's a cardigan, knit flat. So this is the inside. That's the outside. Not that you can tell what's garter and stocking knit in this video. But I'll hold up one edge for you. I'll have to hold up the edge without the yarn attached because it makes my life easier. Let me try to pull the cables out a little bit. So you have the cables. It'll be a little easier to see when I block it. You can see how they travel slightly. The cables travel. It'll be easier. It's honestly, this lighting is not doing this sweater any favors, and you can actually see the cabling a lot better in real life. I'll have to see if I can't get some good pictures of it when it's done to show you, or I'll put them on my blog or something, but yeah. This lighting is not doing the sweater any favors for the camera. But there's the diagonal cable. So the cables go like this. I'm looking down at the sweater so I can see what I'm doing, right? I mean, and the one in the book was knit in solid colors, so, you know, that's a thing. But I fell in love with this yarn. This is Malabrigo Rios in the Arco Iris colorway. And I'm actually alternating skeins. So I have 2 strands attached here. Because if I didn't alternate skeins, this would be very splotchy. And I've actually already done the waist shaping. And you need to do 6 cable repeats before you start shaping for like the bust and the underarms and stuff. So I only have like 6 rows left, and then then I work another chart, and then I think I attach the arms. So I'm actually getting really close. And we're having a party at my local shop on Friday to show off stuff we made with yarn bought at our local shop, and I bought this yarn at my local shop. So I am setting the slightly unrealistic goal, but who knows, I may do it, of finishing, oh, that was a bird. Oh my God. I just saw a shadow go down the tree trunk outside, and it was a bird that was flying down. I was just like, it scared the crap out of me. And my slightly unrealistic goal is to finish this by Friday. And I still have to work 24 hours this week. But if I can get 10 hours in today, or around 10 hours in today, and then around 10 hours in tomorrow, then I only have to work 4 or 5 hours on Friday, which means I'm all set for the party because it starts at 3 in the afternoon. Normally our project nights start at 5, but because we're having the party, we are starting at 3. So I want to be there for 3. Now, this has taken, so to give you an idea of how much yarn this is using, this was 2/3 of a skein. So for the sleeves, I did not alternate hanks, skeins, balls, whatever word you want to use for the sleeves. So these are each one hank. I'll say hank. I'll use hank because it came in the twisted up thingy, so I'll say hank. So each sleeve was 2/3 of a hank. And when I started the body, I cast on with a full hank, with a new one. But then I used one of the partial sleeve hanks. Where is it? Then that ran out working. Now remember, this is working 2 rows of 1, 2 rows, so this is switching. So that ended about here on the inside. So I knit like this much with 1 full one and 1 partial one, and then the partial one ran out, and I started in on the second partial left over from the sleeves because I wanted to use up those partial skeins because I'd rather have like 1 partial hank, I keep switching what word I'm using. Just whatever word comes out of my mouth, it all means the same thing. Disclaimer. So I didn't want to have more than 1 partial left over. And so I decided that I was going to use up the partial ones left from the sleeves in the body. And so that's what I'm doing. So now I have this much left in these balls. Oh my God, these look so different in person than they do on camera. Would you believe that this one looks green and this one looks orange? Like, hello, like they look nothing. Look at that. Camera gonna focus? Focus. Nope, it's staying focused on me today. Yeah, these do not. Nope, I'm not getting the right color out of these at all. This is This color does not like being photographed. It does not like being photographed. But this is what I have left. And so whichever one of these ends first is whichever one I'll attach this to, which is, this one actually looks pink in real life and it looks pink on screen. Oh my God. Hey, it focused. Look at that. Those colors are seriously washed out. It's much more vibrant in real life. But so whichever one of these runs out first, which is probably going to be this one because it weighs less, I'll attach that to it and just keep going. I have two full, so including this, I have 3 balls left. So that means I'm just about halfway through the yarn and like halfway up the body, and I've already done the sleeves. So I definitely don't think I'm going to use all 6 skeins of it. I'm probably going to have to break into the 6th skein. But we shall see how much of it I actually have to use. But like I said, I'd rather have 1 partial left over rather than 2 partials from the sleeves. So that's how I'm doing that. And I have done some spinning between last week and this week. It's a little fuzzy, but it's alpaca. And I have the tail because I'm still spinning it. But I took it off the wheel so you folks could see. And this is some alpaca. It's not quite roving. It's this weird, so it's like this long strip, but it's not a rounded strip like commercial top is, like rounded stripped. It's more like somebody was carding something and then started peeling it off the carder, but like a drum carder, but like cut it, but like pulled it off in one flat thing and then like striped. It's really weird. I have no idea what, I have no idea what prep it is. I have no clue. Because it doesn't say on the label, all it says is the farm where it's from and that it's alpaca. But I got 8 ounces of it for 20 bucks at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool last year, so I'm not complaining. So, here is the spinning. I'm actually spinning it pretty thin because my default is actually pretty thin. And it's, unfortunately, it's fuzzy, so, like, you can't see it real well. I'm still having a little bit of trouble with thick and thinness of it, but I'm definitely getting better because I can see improvement between this bobbin and what I showed you guys last week. So, definite improvement there. Yeah, I have been very productive in the, I've almost knit an entire sweater, but not terribly productive in knitting anything else. I have woven actually, and actually I have my loom right here. I can reach up and get it because it's sitting on the couch. So I'll actually show you guys this week because it's right here. So here it is. I'm going to show you guys the end that I'm wrapping the stuff on because it's houndstooth, and yeah, actually, I just totally messed up something. There we go. It makes noise, yeah. So I'm hoping to finish this by Friday as well. But we'll see. If I finish the sweater, I'll probably try to finish this. So see, it's a houndstooth. See that? And it's a light gray. I actually have the yarn here too because I need to wind more onto my shuttles. They're getting low. See how low they're getting? Yeah, they're getting super low. Actually I have the yarn here if you excuse me reaching for a moment. I need to move. Ta-da! This is Lotus Mimi. It's a mink yarn. And so this is the, and you can find this in like my project page on Ravelry because you can put weaving projects in Ravelry. So this is the gray. It's the slightly heathered gray. Oh, that's actually really good color representation. And then I have this, I'm calling it like a Merlot color because it honestly reminds me of Merlot wine because it's so dark, but it's also a like blackish red, like it's not crimson, there's black in it and there's red in it, so it's like, yeah. See that? Look at that. And so together, these make the scarf. And so what you do when you warp it is you warp every other dent in the reed. So this is the reed. This is the reed. So you can see how it's striped here, how the warp is striped. That's because I like warped all the gray, but I left gaps, and then I warped the red in between the gray, so that then and it's messed up back here, but that doesn't matter. So that then when I was weaving it, I do 2 rows of gray, 2 rows of red, and then it just forms the houndstooth because of the way it's striping. So that's your weaving info for the day. Everything's tangled. No. Okay. Actually, I really like, ironically, yeah, I have a lot of Shack stuff next. I have Shack loom, a Shack spindle, a Shack spinning wheel. But actually, my local yarn store is going to be selling Shack spinning stuff, which is great because that means I can get more bobbins and stuff from her instead of having to go online. And honestly, I really do like supporting my local shops. Like, that's a big thing for me, is I actually do like shopping local and supporting, not necessarily local, because I'll buy stuff from Etsy all the time. But I like supporting small business and people who are making a living doing something they love. And so yeah, that's a thing. So she is going to be having Shack stuff. So I want to get more bobbins for my wheel, and I also want to eventually get a jumbo flyer. The other thing I want, which she has them now, but I need to save up for it because it's over $100, is I want the stand for my loom. Because that would mean I could sit places other than our couch. Because right now I sit on our chaise. Squirrel. Sorry. The ADD meds have not yet kicked in today. I'm joking. Well, I'm joking and I'm not joking, because I actually do take meds for ADD, but at the same time, I'm still easily distracted because they only help you concentrate. But when there's movement in the corner of my eye, I tend to still look, and there was a squirrel climbing down the tree outside. Welcome to my world. This is the random podcast of randomness. I think that's going to be my episode title. Random of randomness or something. It's probably going to be random something is going to be my episode title this week because I'm just so all over the place. Oh, Kevin did something really nice for me this week. So I keep wish lists on Amazon that are really just for myself. Like, it's hey, I want this, so I add it to my wish list just so that I remember it. Or like if I want a specific like item of clothing or whatever, I'll put it in my wish list with the size so that I remember what size I wanted, because all the brands' sizing are slightly different. So Kevin did something really sweet this week, and he bought me a sundress off of my clothing wish list on Amazon. I didn't ask him to. He just did it completely randomly. It was just something he wanted to do, and I think it was really sweet of him to do it. Unfortunately, it's too cold for me to wear it right now because it's... What temperature is it? I can tell you what temperature it is. Oh, I got rid of the app that gives me my Celsius, but it's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Here, nope, it actually updated. It's 51 degrees Fahrenheit in southern New Hampshire right now, and it's 9:18 in the morning. So it actually, today's high is 66, but until it gets into like the 70s on a regular basis, sorry, I'm looking at the weather now on my phone, I'm probably not going to wear it because this is like summer stuff, but you know, I thought it was really nice of him to do that. So I think I'm going to wrap it at the 24-minute mark here. If you can follow me on Ravelry, join the Ravelry group. Check out my blog. My Twitter is basically blog posts and Instagram photos, so you know, don't feel it. But, you know, my Instagram, my blog. Feel free to friend me on Ravelry. That's totally cool. I totally don't mind. I'll probably friend you back. I tend to do that because why not? And yeah, I think that's just about it. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the Ravelry group or in a private message on Ravelry. I did add a questions for the podcaster thread in the group on Ravelry, because I've noticed a lot of other podcasters do that. So if you want to ask me a question that you don't mind me answering publicly, either on the podcast or in the thread, feel free. I do not claim to be an expert in anything. You can ask me about myself. You can ask me about my knitting. You can ask me about my weaving. You can even ask me about Judaism if you want. I'm always happy to attempt to answer people's questions or to provide a hyperlink to a website that answers the question if I don't have the answer. I have some very good Google foo. Thanks to college. Because honestly, if you can't do a good Google search in college, you're like screwed. Or if you can't, or if you don't know how to search the EBSCO databases with the proper tags, you're screwed. Because a lot of Google stuff actually doesn't apply in college, because like you can't just use random websites for research. You have to use like actual like academic journals and like published books and stuff. But knowing how to word a search in any database is actually a really useful skill to have, and I say you should learn it and figure it out, because it's actually like a really good thing to know, is how to word a search using keywords to find what you want. For example, and this is actually a crafting example, to warp my loom, I wasn't thinking when I first searched so there's our math calculations that will tell you how long of a warp to make a scarf of a certain length. Because with weaving, there's a certain amount of take-up. It's between 10 and 15%, depending on what you're making, of take-up when you weave something. So you warp a loom. And so when you warp, you need to take that take-up, that pull-in, into account. So you warp the loom 10 to 15% longer than the finished... Oh, that was quick. Sorry, I got a text. You want to warp the loom 50... Oh my god, the squirrels are driving me bonkers. Why the hell is a squirrel carrying a branch? Seriously. So we have pine trees out here, right? A squirrel just climbed the tree carrying a little sprig of pine in its mouth that was bouncing as it climbed. I don't know what is with the squirrels today. Anyways, as I was saying, with the... It is Easily Distracted Wednesday. Maybe that'll be my episode title. Easily Distracted Wednesday. So when I went to look up those calculations on the internet, because I wanted to make a scarf, because you can also calculate how long to make the warp depending on how much yarn you have. So that you know how big of a scarf you can get out of what you have. So me not thinking typed in warp calculations into Google. Now, that didn't get me the weaving answers that I wanted. That, in fact, got me how to calculate warp speed for a Star Trek ship. Which, while that was a very interesting thing to read, and how they calculate the speed of light and warp speed and warp factor and all that other stuff, right, for Star Trek, that wasn't what I wanted. So I had to add the word weaving to my search. Weaving warp calculations got me the page where I wanted with the math. And actually, weaving is one of those times where algebra comes in handy. Because oh my god, I said I was going to end this like 3 minutes ago. But anyways, because the calculations I found told you how to calculate how much yardage you need based on how long a scarf you want. But to solve for yardage, so to solve for how long a scarf, I needed yardage. So I instead plugged in how much yardage, so it was basically solve for X. So instead of having to solve for X for how many yards I needed, I had to solve for X for how long it was to be. So actually, I had to do a little bit of algebra, which actually I was always good at algebra. Calculus, vectors in calculus escapes me, but I can actually differentiate and I can integrate, which are basic basic calculus stuff is integration and differentiation. But actually, algebra was really easy for me. I really struggled in geography because I have trouble thinking in 3 dimensions. Well, not thinking in 3 dimensions, but in figuring out like 3-dimensional geometry problems. My brain does. 2 dimensions, I'm great. 3 dimensions, you add in that 3rd dimension, my brain just goes down. But anyways, but yeah, that was really funny. So, moral of the story is, you need to know how to use keywords to search, or you will not get what you're looking for. All right, now I'm done. Yeah, I'm all set. This is just at the half-hour mark. It'll be a little longer with my credits, but they're not that long. So have a good week, everyone. I will see you next week. Feel free to like, subscribe, add me on Ravelry, join the group, etc., yada, yada. All the links are in my credits. So feel free to follow all the links. I keep looking at the squirrels. And hopefully next week, I'll have a finished sweater for you. Actually, this is like really soft. So hopefully I'll have a finished sweater for you. All right, I really think that's it this time. Bye! Hey everyone, one last thing I forgot to mention when I recorded, because I just finished processing the video for the other one. It's Earth Day! So happy Earth Day, everyone! Go hug a tree or something, I don't know. Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on. But happy Earth Day! Alright, now I'll see you next week. Bye!